Hello, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching. We are the Coincidental Trendsetters. I'm Sandra.
I'm Lee.
And we're here, but we don't know how we got here. So, Lee, we're just going to jump into what we're wearing now. So, we live in very hot climates. Mm-hmm. And I decided that I needed dresses. And I'm going to let Lee describe why we need the dresses because she's way better at it. But we are both wearing dresses. I'm wearing one off the core line, and I'm wearing it a little bit differently. I am wearing it as like a tunic open. I love doing that with our, is it tunic? I guess not.
Duster.
Duster, yeah, there we go. I'm wearing it open. I love doing that over a column of black because I love wearing leggings all the time. I'm a bit of a legging person. So Lee, tell us about what you're wearing.
Well, I am wearing one of the new arrival dresses. This is the tie front dress. And I absolutely love this, coincidentally, because you are also wearing the same fabric. It is mesh, people. And so it is super cool. And Sandra and I both get very hot and overheated, and dresses are perfect to wear for that because it just has very little fabric actually touching your body when it is so hot. So I absolutely love dresses in the warmer months. We both are sporting some pops of color, which I think is a lot of fun for summer, and can carry through any vacation you may have planned as well. But yeah, so I love that. Hilariously, we both put on the mesh dresses on the line. Both had the same idea.
There it is. Coincidentally, we had
if you will. Yes. So today, everybody, we are going to talk a little bit more about our Heart of Cabi Foundation. And you may remember that in the first episode, Sandra and I were both wearing the beautiful replay top, which is still available, by the way, through July 10th. You can get it online and on the Cabi Tap app. But we briefly talked about our foundation and how special and near and dear it is to our hearts. And today we want to focus on the international side of our Heart of Cabi Foundation. And we just so happen to have a beautiful ambassador for our company that went to really see what we do across the world firsthand. So Sandra, we are going to jump right in. You happen to get a fantastic opportunity to go to Africa with Cabi. How did that happen? Talk about that.
Yes, I did. Life-changing, to say the least. What happened is back about 3 to 4 years ago, they had a program. Well, we still have this program, the Sister Entrepreneur Program. We've talked about that. And anytime a new stylist joins Cabi, she's matched with a sister entrepreneur in a developing country, and they are growing their businesses together. So it's a great way to give back to someone else while you're giving back to your family by starting your business. And at the time, we had a program where the person who brought the most or was able to match the most sister entrepreneurs by bringing the most new stylists in got to have an opportunity to go to Africa and meet some of these sister entrepreneurs. And I was blessed one season to be able to be the recipient of this amazing trip.
I mean, that is so incredible. And I am sure you had to do a lot to prepare for that. And were you a little nervous? This was your first time in Africa, correct?
It was. So
where did you go? Tell us.
Yeah. Well, I've traveled significantly throughout Europe and a little bit through South America, Central America more than South, but had never been to Africa. And so I was nervous. The time was in September, which is the best time to go to Africa. But I had to remember I'm a teacher, so I had to leave my classroom. And so I had to do all the prep for that. I had to leave my then 6-year-old who was in school and going through first grade and all of that. So that was nerve-wracking. And I had to get 10 vaccines. Well, I really had to get 1 vaccine, but I chose to get 10 because I wanted to be extra careful. So so it was nerve-wracking. I mean, just doing anything different and something you've never done before and going to some place, that may seem a little scary. It wasn't at all. But I was nervous.
Which parts of Africa did you go to specifically?
We went to Kenya and Rwanda.
Oh, okay. And Cabi works a lot with Rwanda, or I heard it's also called Rwanda, but that's
it is.
Yeah, so it is pronounced that way.
It is, yes.
Yeah. So
the phonics teacher in me has to say the W, but you are correct, Rhonda.
Yeah. And talk about what were the things that you did with that trip. I know I've seen photos, but it's so wonderful to hear from you specifically. What did you do on that trip?
So we flew into Kenya and we started our journey in Kenya because so much of Africa's story is about the land. And so we went on safari. We were able to, I mean, this trip was top notch. We were able to take private planes and stay in the best places, stay in this beautiful area on the Masai Mara, meet the people of the Mara, which was amazing. And we stayed there 2 days and then headed over to our time in Rwanda, which is where we were spending most of our time, which was really an amazing, I mean, if you don't know the story of this country, you really want to educate yourself on this, because they went through 26 or 27 years ago, went through a horrific genocide in their country that led to millions of people being killed by their own people. And the way that they have rebounded from that is through ideals like forgiveness and moving on, and rebuilding their country is just amazing. So to be on that land really felt so significant, and also to be able to do things like gorilla trekking and going up to the mountains. I mean, Rwanda is a beautiful country that just can't even be explained, and I would have known nothing about it before this trip. So just a great experience.
And what were the things that had the biggest impact on you in that trip?
So this trip completely changed how I looked at things. And the reason is because when we're at home, I don't know about you, but I wear a lot of hats. And so I have the teacher hat, and I have the coach hat, and I have the stylist hat, and I have the mom hat and the wife hat and the daughter hat, and all of these different hats. And when I'm at home, I juggle those a lot, but I never really can find the Sandra hat. Like I feel like I'm the bottom of that totem pole because we have to get all these other things done.
Yeah.
Well, the minute that those wheels were up and I was on that plane, I realized I had done all the prep that I could do. Everyone was going to have to handle everything at home while I was gone, and I just got to be me. And so I was able to be led instead of having to be the leader all the time. I was able to experience instead of having to give other people experiences. And that was absolutely revolutionary to me, and the way that I was able to see things. So I would sometimes just put my AirPods in and listen to music and just be in the location. And that was something I never get to really do at home, or I don't take the time to do at home because I feel like I have all these other things to do. Another thing that was really significant is, I know a lot of people feel this way in our country, but I had never felt this way, is being the one that when you walk in a room, everyone looks different than you. And that really was significant. And just getting to see the other side of being the minority for once was a pretty amazing experience, and really helped me open my eyes to how different people feel who are in my sphere of influence. So that was pretty cool, and something I never really thought about before that trip.
Yeah, and you really got to visit with some of Cabi's sister entrepreneurs. We partner with Opportunity International, so they brought you like close together with these people. And were you able to hear some of their stories firsthand, and some things that they had gone through, and of course persevered to build their own businesses?
We were. So we really got to look at this from two different perspectives. The first is we got to work with some sister entrepreneurs who are seamstresses, and we got to go to a market and pick out fabric and then work with them on the measurements and different things that we wanted to create and different things that we wanted to bring back, which was amazing because that was a 1-to-1 ratio of us like working hand in hand with someone. And we had interpreters from Urwego Bank that was in Rwanda. And so to work with them as well, to just really be with the people and not just be listening to a story, but really be, working with and going through the process of, trying to overcome a language barrier and all that was really cool. Not to mention to have something to bring back that is a unique, one of a kind thing from Rwanda. But then also we heard the stories. We got to visit the home of a genocide, which really was a Holocaust for them, a genocide survivor, and hear the story of how she and a few of her children survived that. And just to be in that setting, something that, being in a home that you never thought you would be in, and hearing about something that seems so inhumane and crazy. Like, how could this actually happen? How could people do this to their own people? Was really eye-opening for me. So just knowing that, when this all happened, I was 16 years old,
Yeah.
and it was really eye-opening for me to understand that I really didn't even know that this was happening.
Mhm.
So it gave me an idea that I had to really open my eyes to more of what was going on globally instead of just in my own backyard.
And you got to see firsthand the impact of our small business loans working with women to impact their communities. Of course, so many of the men were lost in that genocide, but the impact that women can make, and that is just so special. So would you go again? And would you suggest it to others, Sandra?
Absolutely. I would absolutely go again. One of the things we got to do is visit a school, and
Mm.
being a teacher, of course, that was really cool. But what I'd love to, one of my goals is to be able to go back and see, every however many years, every year, if I could, see the progress that is being made through the donations that Cabi is giving to not only one school, but many schools throughout Rhonda. And so that would be a definite thing that I'd want to do. And, I thought that Africa was like, I have a goal to go to every continent before my life is over. And so I thought that Africa would be like a one and done, check it off, but it's really not for me. To be able to go and be back in this space. Some people say it's really magical to be in this land, and that's not just a saying, it really is true. I feel like it's so much close to like where civilization started, and just, all of that. And you really can feel it. That's very palpable there. But the people are really quite amazing as well. So would I go back? Absolutely, 100%. I feel so passionately about these trips and what they can do for women, and the fact that we can take off all of the hats that we wear and actually be the ones being served, that a couple friends and I actually started a business to take women on these trips. And we definitely put our money where our mouth is, as far as giving the opportunity that I was given and blessed with, which only few would be able to do, and
Mhm.
offering that to many that want to take up the opportunity. So yeah, definitely would go back in a heartbeat.
Well, and I know that Africa as a continent is so very diverse. Like, you got to see two countries of it, which is fantastic. But Northern Africa is so very different from, say, South Africa or something like that. So it's worth it to go back and, of course, explore all that, which is fantastic. And I know this has had such a big influence on your daily life. What really have you taken to heart that you notice you're doing daily now because of your experience there?
Well, that's a great question. One of the things that I was able to do is stay in contact with some of the people that live there, and just the way that they look at life, and the way that they look at every day as a gift. And it just made me realize that the stressors that I have, and the things that I really, everything's important, everything's relative as far as importance, but I realized that the things that I stress about aren't necessarily things that I need to stress about all the time. It's important, but it's not, life altering every
Mhm.
single day. And so I've been able to really take, I guess that's called perspective. I've been able to get
Yeah.
perspective on what's important. And, just being able to be in contact with the people that I met over there really shows me on a day-to-day basis how everything that we have is a blessing, and we are blessed in order to be able to be a blessing to others. And so that's really kind of where I want to take the rest of what I do, whether it's with Cabi, or whether it's with the Joyous Journey, which is our travel company, or whether it's with teaching, or whatever I do next. I want to make sure that I'm using the experiences that I have had and been able to be blessed with, and the learning I learned, especially in Africa, and take that into my day-to-day life.
I love that so much, Sandra. Thank you so much for sharing. And for all of you, if you want to hear more about our Heart of Cabi Foundation, not just from me and Sandra talking about something so close to our heart, please go to cabionline.com and under the About tab, and you will see our foundation and you can read up on it. We are just so thanks to you for spending time with us here. Again, we are the Coincidental Trendsetters, and we know that it may be a coincidence that you joined us here today, but it is by no means an accident. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Have a great week, y'all.